In our modern world, we feel a certain pride in our technological achievements. We have satellites orbiting our planet, beaming down signals that guide our every turn. With a small device in our hand, we can cross a continent without a single paper map. And yet, for all our ingenuity, we are merely catching up to a system perfected over millions of years. The animal kingdom possesses navigational abilities so sophisticated, they often surpass our creations. These creatures carry within them an unseen map of the world. It is a marvel, operating silently all around us. How is it possible? How can a tiny songbird weighing less than a coin depart a forest in North America and arrive months later in the exact same patch of jungle in South America? How does a loggerhead turtle, after decades at sea, return to the very beach where it hatched? These are not accidents, they are feats of precision navigation. For centuries we have watched these journeys unfold, full of wonder. The mystery of their navigation is one of nature's most enduring stories. The secret isn't a single tool, but a remarkable toolkit of senses, some almost alien to us. Animals perceive the world in ways we can barely imagine. They see forces we cannot see. One of the most astonishing discoveries in the study of animal navigation is the existence of an internal biological compass. Many creatures, it turns out, can sense the Earth's magnetic field. This invisible force, which causes a compass needle to point north, is a constant and reliable source of directional information available day or night, in clear skies or foul weather. For a migrating animal, this is an invaluable tool. It is as if they are born with a compass needle embedded within their very being, a sense that we humans completely lack. This ability, known as magnetoreception, is one of the key pillars supporting the world's great migrations. Consider the sea turtle. When a hatchling emerges from its nest and scrambles towards the sea, it is already using this magnetic sense. As it enters the vastness of the Atlantic Ocean, it embarks on a journey that will span thousands of miles and last for decades. Scientists believe that the turtle uses the Earth's magnetic field not just as a compass to maintain its bearing, but also as a kind of map. The field has subtle variations in strength and inclination across the globe, creating a grid of magnetic coordinates. A turtle may be able to detect its position on this grid, allowing it to know where it is and which way to go. Migratory birds are also masters of this magnetic sense. The Arctic tern, for instance, undertakes the longest migration of any animal, traveling from the Arctic to the Antarctic and back again each year. To achieve such a feat, it relies heavily on its internal compass. Long before the invention of the sextant or the chronometer, animals were navigating by the heavens. For creatures that travel during the day, the sun is the most obvious celestial guide. It rises in the east, sets in the west, traces a predictable arc across the sky. But using it as a compass is more complex than it sounds. To do so, an animal must be able to compensate for the sun's movement throughout the day. This requires an internal clock, a sense of time that allows the navigator to know where the sun should be at any given hour and adjust its course accordingly. The monarch butterfly is a spectacular example of a solar navigator. Each autumn, millions of these delicate insects travel from Canada and the United States to a few specific groves of trees in the mountains of central Mexico, a place they have never been before. They use the position of the sun in the sky to hold their southwesterly course. Their tiny brains contain a sophisticated time compensation mechanism centered in their antennae. This internal clock allows them to maintain a consistent direction, even as the sun moves across the sky. Navigation in the animal world is not limited to sight-invisible forces. The senses of smell, hearing, often far more acute than our own, also play a crucial role in guiding animals home. For some, the world is a landscape of odors, a tapestry of scents that creates a map as real as any visual one. These olfactory cues can guide an animal over vast distances with astonishing precision, leading it back to a single, specific point on the globe. It is a journey led by the nose, a pilgrimage guided by the faintest of chemical whispers carried on the wind or water. The salmon is the most famous of these olfactory navigators. After hatching in a freshwater stream, a young salmon migrates to the ocean. It may spend years feeding and growing, traveling thousands of miles. Yet, when it is time to spawn, it returns to the very stream of its birth. The secret lies in its extraordinary sense of smell. Each river and stream has a unique chemical signature, a cocktail of dissolved minerals and organic matter from soil and vegetation. A young salmon imprints on this scent before it leaves for the sea, and it is this memory that guides it home years later. Beyond the raw input from their senses, many animals display a remarkable cognitive ability. They create and store mental maps of their environment. This is not simply a matter of following an instinctual bearing. It is a flexible and sophisticated form of navigation that relies on memory and spatial awareness. An animal with a mental map does not just know which direction to travel, it knows where it is in relation to other landmarks. It can remember specific routes, recognize key features in the landscape, and even devise shortcuts or detours when necessary. This is a sign of a complex mind at work. Think of a foraging bee. It leaves the hive and travels a long, winding path, visiting dozens of flowers. Diagram: winding foraging path versus straight line return. Yet, when it is time to return, it flies in a straight line directly back to the hive. This behavior, known as vector integration, shows the bee has been keeping a running tally of all its turns and movements. It has a mental picture of its position relative to its starting point. This cognitive map allows it to calculate the most efficient route home. Larger animals with complex social lives, such as wolves or chimpanzees, demonstrate an even more detailed knowledge of their territory. Food sources, water sources, boundaries of their territory, paths of rival groups, safe places to rest. This knowledge is built up over a lifetime of experience through exploration and observation. For many species, the secrets of navigation are not solely encoded in their genes. They are passed down from one generation to the next through a process of social learning. Young animals learn by watching and following their elders, inheriting a culture of migration refined over countless generations. This transfer of knowledge is crucial for long-distance journeys that traverse complex and dangerous landscapes. The ancient routes are not just instinctual pathways, they are living traditions, held in the collective memory of the group and taught to the young. It is a beautiful example of culture in the animal kingdom. Cranes provide a wonderful illustration of this process. Young cranes do not instinctively know their migration route. They must learn it by following their parents on their first journey south for the winter, and back north in the spring. This single trip is enough to imprint the long and arduous route in their minds. A map they will then follow for the rest of their lives and teach to their own offspring. Conservationists have even used this behavior to reintroduce cranes to areas where they had disappeared, using ultralight aircraft to act as surrogate parents and guide the young birds along their ancestral flyways. Whales, dolphins, pods of killer whales have distinct cultures, including preferred hunting techniques, and specific migration routes passed down from mother to calf. The matriarch, often the oldest female, is the keeper of this knowledge. She leads her family along the same routes year after year, routes she learned from her own mother. This accumulated wisdom guides them to reliable feeding grounds at the right times of year. Many of the world's most spectacular migrations are not undertaken by solitary individuals but by vast groups moving as one. Think of the thundering herds of wildebeest across the Serengeti, or the shimmering shoals of sardines in the ocean, or the swirling murmurations of starlings in the evening sky. There is a profound power and intelligence in this collective movement. When animals navigate as a group, they benefit from the combined knowledge and senses of every individual. This phenomenon, often called swarm intelligence, allows the group to make better, more accurate navigational decisions than any single animal could alone. In a large flock of birds or a school of fish, no single individual is the designated leader. Instead, leadership is distributed throughout the group. Each animal pays attention to the speed and direction of its immediate neighbors, making small adjustments to its own movement to stay with the group. These simple local interactions, when multiplied across thousands of individuals, give rise to a cohesive and coordinated group movement. An error made by one bird can be corrected by the dozens of others around it. The flock as a whole averages out the navigational information of all its members, resulting in a more precise and reliable course. This collective intelligence also enhances the group's ability to find its destination. It is a testament to the advantages of cooperation in the natural world. For all that we have learned about animal navigation, the truth is that we have only scratched the surface. The more we study these incredible journeys, the more questions arise. Many aspects of how animals find their way remain profound mysteries, humbling reminders of how much we still have to learn. These unanswered questions are not a sign of failure, but a source of ongoing fascination and a spur for future discovery. The intricate mechanisms that guide these creatures are so complex that they continue to elude our full understanding, inviting us to look closer and with ever greater wonder. Take the magnetic sense, for example. While we know that many animals use it, the precise biological mechanism remains a subject of intense debate. How does an animal's body detect a force as weak as the Earth's magnetic field? One leading theory involves a light-sensitive protein in the eye called cryptochrome, suggesting a link between vision and magnetoreception. Another theory proposes that tiny magnetic particles, like magnetite, within specialized cells, act as microscopic compass needles. It is entirely possible that some animals use both systems. The exact nature of this sixth sense is one of the most exciting frontiers in biology today. How does a young cuckoo, raised by foster parents of a different species, find its way to its species-specific wintering grounds in Africa, a place it has never seen and a route its foster parents do not know? The great migrations of the animal kingdom are among the most inspiring spectacles on our planet. They are a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of life, ancient rhythms that have pulsed across the globe for millennia. But these journeys are becoming increasingly fragile. The modern world, which we built with our own navigational prowess, is now posing a grave threat to the very systems animals have relied upon for eons. Lights, sounds, structures. These lights, sounds, and structures are disrupting the subtle cues that guide them. Light pollution from our cities can obscure the stars, disorienting night-migrating birds and leading them astray. The constant hum of ship traffic and industrial activity in the oceans can mask the low-frequency calls that whales use to communicate and navigate. The construction of dams blocks the ancient river routes of salmon, while buildings and power lines create deadly obstacles for migratory birds. These challenges should not lead us to despair, but to action. They are a call to a deeper appreciation for the wonders of the natural world and a recognition of our responsibility to protect them. By understanding the incredible navigational feats of these animals, it is a wonder that is in our hands to cherish and to safeguard for all the generations, both human and animal, yet to come.